There it goes. Right? Right? Yep. Okay. All right. Our vision is very clear. We want to bring the fight against climate change to everyone. There is a need to come at this problem from all angles, from the energy sector, transportation, food, and for us, the consumer. Together, as consumers, we shape the market trends. And by building the tools needed to accelerate that market shift, we can pressure companies and governments to change and adopt more eco-friendly practices. This pressure is essential for systemic change, because if we can get the populace on board, imagine the walls that we can tear down. 85% of consumers in the United States today already want to purchase more sustainable goods, according to a Nielsen IQ survey. Yet, 2 to 10 million metric tons of plastic end up in the ocean every year. The reason? Consumers are consistently reporting not being able to find more sustainable companies and brands. They are inundated with greenwash marketing campaigns and misinformation to the point where they just end up giving up. 48% of the US consumers say that they would change their habits to reduce their impact on the environment. But the average person still produces about 4.8 metric tons of carbon per year. So what are we learning? So what we're learning is the problem isn't really a lack of wanting to help or the lack of not being able to help. It's an accessibility problem. And that's what we're trying to solve. We broke our populations down into two groups. The first group we like to call the I don't have timers. They usually have children and that have busier schedules than most business owners that require constantly being chauffeured between practices and friends' house. Running errands for this group happens maybe once or twice a week, and it's usually very rushed. Either you have a blissful 45 minutes to yourself before needing to pick up the kids, or it's a chaotic 45 minutes of, no, you can't have that. Don't hang off the cart, and please don't touch that. So when presented with a million choices of laundry detergent, you just do what everyone does. You grab the thing that you always grab. It's an orange bottle, into the cart it goes. In a world where snap decisions have to be made, we at ZeroIn need to come in, say what we're going to say, and then get the hell out of your way. We need to meet you in the stores. We need to not just say why your current choice isn't the best, but to give you something on that next shelf that's similar in quality, number of loads, and has you performing climate actions by simply reaching for another package. And you can do this simply by scanning a bottle. We'll tell you everything we know about the product right on your phone. And if it has certifications, how much carbon is emitted in the manufacturing and shipping process, if there's any misleading marketing going on, and most importantly, what you should pick up instead. And maybe you don't like shopping in the stores. And we got you covered there. So whether it's on your phone or from your computer, you'll have access to see everything and to make your own choices that best fits your family's needs or your personal goals. We'll even let you know when it's time to order more. That way, even while purchasing online, you'll never be without the essentials. No more setting up a subscription for dish soap every 3 months, only to keep forgetting to pause it, resulting in now having 5 bottles under your sink. And then when you do remember to actually pause it, you forget to reactivate it. The next group that we want to focus on is actually me. When I started looking at my own product usage, I struggled with trying to read through the greenwashing. And I get it. These are huge companies and they're making billions of dollars a year and they don't really want to change. And have you ever purchased something online and had more packaging material than was probably strictly necessary to get it? And so these are the people we want to meet in their homes. Well, not literally, but we want to guide you in finding any gaps with your day-to-day and support your efforts to develop new habits. If that's wanting to start composting, changing your power usage, better meal planning, seemingly small things that can add up across communities and even end up saving you money. And we'll track it all for you. Every action that you perform that results in carbon reduction, plastic reductions, and if I get my way, many, many other metrics, we log it for you. And your experience will be catered to how you best learn these new habits. If it's through competition streaks, or through game loops or whatever you need, we want to keep you coming back every day to track your progress and to see what else you could be doing. You will earn digital coins, which can be traded for climate-based rewards, such as donations, planting trees, or access to partnerships that we want to explore. And now is the time to move. We have, the sustainability market is expected to grow by 23% over the next 5 years. We're going to start with millennial and Gen Z consumers in the United States. From that population, we want to reach out to the most eco-centric and tech-savvy of them, so we can start learning from them what is working and what doesn't before we start reaching out further. We're going to keep our original promise by making climate action accessible by being free for everyone from day one. Our users will have access to our product data in our marketplace and the habit building. But for those who want to go further, we offer a suite of automations, more detailed data and metric calculations, bigger rewards, and premium content every week. But we also want to give space for those in the community that are looking for a wider audience for their initiatives or local businesses. We believe one size doesn't fit all, and that's where our competitors fall short. ZeroIn separates ourselves by letting you pick your experience, and the app will adjust to meet your support needs. We also provide access to our vetted partners, so if we recommend that you should change your hand soap, you can actually do it in one place. Our next step is to branch further out into more local businesses and organizations. We will attend conferences like this one and farmers markets where we know all those first ripples sort of exist. And we will host initiatives like beach cleanups so we can make those little ripples turn into giant waves. And we're ready to move. We are actively testing our MVP both on the web and in the app stores with a small set of users. We are keeping our costs as low as we possibly can, so when we're ready to scale, we're prepared for those next steps. And we're asking for your help, whether through monetary support, advising, or partnerships, so we can see this project through. We may be a small, scrappy team, but we're driven by our commitment to make climate action simple, engaging, and effective. We're asking for $600,000 for a 10% stake in our company to get us, 10% stake in our company to get us to our next big milestone of raising a seed round. Between now and then, we plan to hire our team on full time, begin our major marketing push, and finish testing and launch the mobile and web apps. And that's ZeroIn. We believe everyone needs to be involved as much as possible with slowing, stopping, and hopefully reversing climate change. We believe that consumers carry an immeasurable amount of power, and that power is what we need to get corporations and governments to take notice and to start making change at the speed that we need them to. And we do this by meeting the consumers in the stores, in their homes, and in their wallets, because we're all in this together. So please join us today and help us move this vision forward. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm in sustainability and I want to make my purchase going well, but what about the prices?
Yes, that is one of the things that I know a lot of people find as sort of demotivators. A lot of the sustainable goods do carry a bit of more of a price. There is a metric out there. I don't have a slide for it, but while I was putting this together, there is a metric that shows that there is a considerable larger shift that is occurring, that people are more willing to spend extra. So some of the ideas that we do have for those individuals that can't spend extra, if they're living, paycheck to paycheck, is we also want to kind of look in to see what we can do with our users to maybe even use that reward system to drive costs down a little bit. So instead of just giving coupons to one person, is there a way that we can sort of explore a way of sort of blanket reducing things to sort of meet those people where they are? Because yes, there are quite a few people out there that we do want to reach, that we understand might be not able to because they can't afford it. And so we want to see what we can do about that.
Hi, I have a couple questions, but one is, I was wondering where you get your data to decide what you want to recommend and how independent those reviews are, given that your partners can pay to have their stuff. It looked like you had a partner model where they can pay in essence to be recommended. So how are you going to be a trusted source, and where does your data come from?
So all our data comes, there's a couple of avenues that we want to try to see if there's ways to automating it, just because there's so much of it that's out there and a lot of it is untrustworthy. Right now, we're actually harvesting the data ourselves. So if there is a company or a product that we're partnering with, we are going to them to see what metrics exist for that. You know, what their water consumption is for their manufacturing, the carbon is for the shipping. And that way we can actually share that information in sort of a non-biased way. Some other things that we want to look into, there is a company called Smart Label. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them. You start seeing them more on packaging nowadays. But essentially they are, I think they're from Nielsen IQ as well. But essentially people, like companies sort of submit to them like their ingredients and you know, whatever kind of sustainability things that they're working for. So we're going to be able to harvest that data to show with our users. And we're also just going to live by the model that even if you're paying as a partner, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get any better treatment. We're not going to do any kind of greenwashing for you. All that's really going to do is push your product forward to the users who might have whatever your product might solve and try to solve their problems. So basically, we're going to just tell them no, if that answers your question. Yes. Mhm.
The
Yeah.
the question, just to repeat for online people, is talk about putting a policy in
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, we do, and that's one of the reasons why, you know, we went forward to do public benefit company while we're doing the B Corp, is to sort of build that trust with our users, to let them know that, you know, we're in this for you, we're not in this for them. And so these companies that are partnering with us, they're doing specifically because we fall within these ranges and they equate and want to actually work with us. So yes, that is actually really good to think about policy. We also had a thought too, where if we're going to start pulling like Procter and Gamble through the ringer, we might need to get something in place to, you know, not get brought down by them. So, but that's tomorrow Matt's problem. Yes. A lot of it is still in development, because we're such a small team and several of us are still working full-time jobs. It's really difficult to give it as much time as we need to. But yes, the website, the web app is currently available. You can sign up for it. We just ask you, you know, just remember it is in alpha, so there's going to be some wonkiness. There's feedback. We are fully open to everyone's feedback. So if something doesn't work, if something doesn't make sense, please let us know, because we are actively changing. Yeah, I was actually hoping to have the mobile app ready today, but Apple said that there were problems with it that I need to go and fix once I get back to the hotel tonight. So we're hoping to get it launched probably within the next month or two. Thank you. Any more questions?
All right. Thank you to ZeroIn.